It was a more conversational style of MDMA therapy. Like if you read about the MAPS research, it looks a lot like the psilocybin trials where it's someone laying down, eye mask on, music on. And if they want to get up and talk, there are therapists there, but it's still a more internalized experience first. It's kind of like go with the medicine, let's see what comes up. And if you need to talk, we can talk. Versus this one, kind of out of the gates, was more conversational. And I remember for about the first 30 minutes, it was almost as if she was prodding at different areas and different topics. I'm like, well, what's the thread here that we can kind of go deeper into? Like, what can I pull on in this kid in a way? And so sure enough, we got to the topic of my dad, and I'm 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 sure I had like a little bit of a quiver in my voice and just like the impact of his passing on me. And then that's where she directed the conversation. And through that dialogue, it basically led me to re-experience the night he died, because he was he died in our living room. We'd brought a bed over where he had been laying for about 2, 3 weeks at that point. And the very next day, he was supposed to be taken to a hospice, which would be the end for him. So this was really like the last day at home. And during that night, he kind of called for a little bit of assistance to just have help with drinking some water. And I went there alone. Just, I think my sister was upstairs. My mom was somewhere else. And I helped him have a little drink. But he started to actually choke from the water. And he never actually like restabilized after that point. So like him choking on the water I was helping to feed him was kind of the thing that instigated his death. And it's not really like I don't think I internalized so much this like blame of myself kind of situation, like I caused him to die. It wasn't so much that that was the story there, but it was all just very alive and very like he's calm. I give him a drink and he just starts choking and coughing, can't really get his breath underway, to call my sister down, get my mom. And like it just set into motion things in like a very heavy way very quickly.
Sure.
And so I was there for the final I love yous and goodbyes and the tears and all that stuff. And then just that whole experience. I mean, I was crying that night, and I remember doing a lot of processing as a 15-year-old can at that point, where my mom, kind of in European fashion, called a lot of the friends over, like people I'd referred to as aunts and uncles over the years, to kind of be there with the body in the hours that passed. And I actually remember one of his friends came by, and I was off in our other kind of room in the house crying to myself. And he tried to come in there and give me this sort of speech of like, you can't cry, you're the man now. And I just flippantly told him to fuck off kind of
Yeah.
thing. 15-year-old kid. And so just like, I was already doing some processing at that point. I wasn't like, I'm a boy, I can't cry, but there's only just so much you can really do. And so during this MDMA session, it was as if like every minute of that experience basically replayed itself. And I was able
Wow.
to have all of the same kind of emotional chords come alive again. And it was just as deep, like the sorrow and the sadness, as the first time I went through it.
Yeah.
Just whatever was almost left though, where it's like, okay, now we're really getting to the bottom of this group. And so yeah, that very much, that was a big process that I would say lasted for a good hour of the experience, and then it was just sort of a soft landing of adjusting on the other side. But I remember I went for a little hike after this session in the Marin Highlands, which are just the beautiful hills that kind of overlook San Francisco, and just, feeling so clear, like I'd actually kind of gotten to a very clear next stage and chapter of, okay, like I've accepted his passing in a way I haven't been able to yet. And that was very deep for me.